Howdy, Retro Renegades. If you guys clicked on that thumbnail, that means you are here for one thing, a Sega Genesis Collection. Sit back, open up a can of Pringles, because once you pop, you just can't stop. And let's get into this sweet Genesis Collection that I am very proud of. Beautiful intro time. Go. Now that you've finished my most epic intro to the Sega Genesis Collection, let's jump right into it. I'm gonna do this the same way that I roughly did my Super Nintendo collection, where I grab the games, they're just sitting in front of me, I've got some loose stuff, I've got some stuff in box, and I will do my best to just go through the loose stuff first, and then the boxed. Or maybe the boxed, then the loose stuff. We'll move it around, switch it up, flip it, reverse it. I regret that immediately. Let's just do it. No, what? There's no reason to slow this train down. Let's just dance. First, Vector Man. That's Vector Man. We've got World of Illusion starring Disney's Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. I almost hesitated as if I didn't know Mickey Mouse's name. So, Illusion starring Mookie Moose and Donald Duck. Dinosaurs for hire. You want to take out some bad guys. I know some dinosaurs you can call. Cool Spot. Clay Fighter. We talked about this. If you don't know about Clay Fighter, then you don't know about fighting with clay. It's the same line from the SNES. Go watch that video. Batman. Batman Returns. By the way, the best penguin ever. And I know there's going to be a new penguin soon. Get out of here. Sorry, Colin Farrell. Nobody messes with my Danny DeVito. Altered Beast. Pretty much the same game on arcade and on the Master System, and this one. Midnight Resistance. That's a shooter, by the way. It basically is like a Contra, Contra-ish. It's Contri. No, not in the same universe. Just it's like Contra. Just play it. Sonic and Knuckles. Pop this guy in. You got a little Knuckles. The Wolverine. Hey, bub. Play my game. You got a friend in me. Tailspin. Spider-Man. Not to be confused with other Spider-Man games, because they have the same name. Echo the Dolphin. Echo the Dolphin. I can't take that stuff back. The best on the Genesis. Streets of Rage 2. This is an amazing game. I know in my last video, I talked about the Super Nintendo Final Fight, and this game is just as good. Like, just as good. Do it. Sonic Blast. Gotta go fast. World Heroes. Another great fighting game, actually. I loved playing this on the arcade. Rocket Knight Adventures. It's actually Adventures. I just said Adventures just to spice it up a bit. X-Men. That's actually not a great game. I haven't played this one. This is Krusty's Super Fun House. It's probably super fun to play the game in my house. Oh, I talked about this too. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on the Genesis. Different game, different developer. Cool. This actually has scenes from the movie in it. Play Power Rangers. Do it. We've got, the Lost Vikings. Where did they go? Darkwater. Now that I look at this, yep, I'm pretty sure this is a pirated game. No pun intended. This game is actually more expensive on the Super Nintendo, so I picked up the Genesis version. This is Sunset Riders. They're gonna ride into the sunset. This is a great game, by the way. If you have not played Sunset Riders, you are in for a treat. You get to play as various cowboys shooting up Old Town Road. I don't have licensing to that song, otherwise I'd do a segment right now where I play it. Super Street Fighter 2. This is a great game. Unfortunately, my copy had a bunch of rental stickers on it that somebody decided to pull off. I would have just kept them on there, not to ruin this. But don't forget, if you're playing a Genesis, you gotta get a 6-button controller, otherwise it's really difficult to play these fighting games with a 3-button on the Batwing controller. Vector Man 2, they should have been together. This is the only 6-pack I have. This one has Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Revenge of Shinobi, Columns, and Super Hang-On. Not for resale, it's just a sticker, so I don't even know if that's true. Judge Dredd. I dread the day he judges me. Okay, Spitfire. Adventures of Batman and Robin. Batman Revenge of the Joker, that's a great game. Kid Chameleon. Pitfall. Pigskin Football. Animaniacs. Don't know the rest of the words. Light Crusader. When you want to go on a crusade, but it's dark. Sonic Classics, just in case you didn't have the rest of the Sonic games. Now they're on a classic collection just for you and your family to play at home. Primal Rage, on the Genesis, where your heart explodes and you eat cavemen. NBA Hang Time, pretty much the same thing as NBA Jam, just NBA Jam started to suck, so Hang Time came in and said, I can do it better. X-Men 2, God, this is a good game. If you didn't know, X-Men 2, most people thought that the game was broken because it automatically starts you in some random level. So there's no intro screen until you finish that first level, then it gets into the intro screen into the game. I have this one, a greatest hits, and I have the original because I am an X-Men fanatic. Excelsior! Shinobi, Return of the Ninja Master 3. NBA Jam, he's heating up. In my hand. Actually, that was a good find. 99 cents at Goodwill. Go me. Oh, favorite. This is Separation Anxiety. I played the crap out of this and Maximum Carnage, which I have as a boxed title. This is an awesome game. If you get a chance, Separation Anxiety and Maximum Carnage are both worth your time for Spider-Man and Venom games. Boogerman. I think it came out on Sega and SNES, but Boogerman, the Pick and Flick Adventures. It's about a janitor that goes into some type of portal. He flicks boogers and belches and farts, and it was a great 90s game for sure. Earthworm Jim, great graphics, awesome gameplay, what a cool character, and I wish this series would come back. There are rumors, or maybe it's confirmed, that it's going to be on the new Amiga. Bonkers, what a silly cat. Mickey Mania and the Timeless Adventures of Mickey Mouse. I cannot remember Mickey Mouse's name when I look at him and I'm like, that's Mickey Mouse, say it. Mickey Mouse. I can't do it. Cliffhanger. I tried to play this game, didn't enjoy it, but it's in the collection, because that makes sense. Picked this one up because it was reviewed highly. This is Gargoyles, and that is a really good game. Like, the graphics are awesome, gameplay is awesome. If you remember the TV show, this actually is very, very close to it, resembles it, plays like it. It's basically like you're in the cartoon. And I also have Chuck Rock on Genesis, and I talked about this before. Took me forever to find out you could actually chuck rocks. Gunstar Heroes, just picked this one up. This is an awesome game. I just hate when I get the auto fire weapon. I don't know what it's called, but it essentially like targets the enemies and it goes all over the screen and it makes it really confusing. But this is a cool run and gun bullet hell game. Gunstar Heroes, this should be in your collection. You will enjoy it. Desert Demolition. Oh man, by the way, if you didn't already know, Wile E. Coyote is my favorite Looney Tunes character because he's super intelligent, super genius, and also dumb. How do I relate to that? This is my last loose copy, and I got this from John Riggs, so thank you, Riggs. This was a homebrew. This is Streets of Rage, but the Simpsons edition. So you actually can play almost any Simpsons character on this one all the way through the Streets of Rage game, and this is awesome. This is a really, really cool homebrew. If you ever get into homebrews, there's a lot of fun stuff out there, but this one's a gem. I love it. Okay, we're gonna go through some boxes. Got 2 stacks of blacks, 2 stacks of reds, gonna shout them off until they deads. Something's wrong with me. Sonic the Hedgehog, and I still have my Value Village sticker on it when I found it. Not for resale copy, you gotta have original Sonic in your collection. Durr. Deadly moves. This fighting game is so deadly. That's all I got. I've talked about Captain America and the Avengers. I think the Genesis version is a better version, but I do love the Super Nintendo controller, so I fight on a daily basis with this one. But I have this one complete in box with the stuffs and the things in it. Mercs, funny story, I was at my friend Reed's house and we were playing this one on our Retrons, and you have to switch it to go to specific regions, and we thought it was like a Spanish version of the game. And we were like, they duped us, what's going on? And they were like, oh, there's a switch on the back. And we were like, ha, we're silly. That story has nothing to do with whether the game is good or not, and it's actually a very fun game. He is really good at this, by the way, better than I. Gotta have Sonic 2. Tails was so awesome. Like, I wish they would have done just a Tails game. I would have bought that, I would have played it. Then we've got Strider 1, Strider 2, that's it, just 1 and 2. Huge Street Fighter 2 fan. This was actually my very first fighting game ever, was Street Fighter 2 on the Genesis Championship Edition. I love this cover because it had 2 characters that aren't normally showcased in the series, with M. Bison and Guile, and it's rad. Terminator 2, I talked about this in a previous video. I played the crap out of this game when I was a kid. Just stayed up all night with my friends shooting Skynet's skeleton army. Some terrible fighting games here. Fighting Masters, where you can be a Lobster Man or a Eagle Man or a Sphinx Man or a Dragon Man. Or this next one's an underrated game just for me. This is Chakan. I remember the marketing ads for this were insane. They were in like every single video game magazine that I had at the time. And it was a really cool character design. I've enjoyed this game a lot. The Forever Man, Chakan. My buddy Jeremy hooked me up with Slime World, Todd's Adventure. This is a difficult game to kind of start getting into, but it is a really fun game. So if you guys get a chance, check out Todd's Adventure in Slime World. Then you gotta have Golden Axe in your collection. If you're gonna have some beat 'em ups, might as well be medieval ages. Axes kicking shits out of ogres and stuffs. Avandy Holyfield boxing ya, pow 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 pow. Me and my sister played the crap out of this game, and for some reason I'm missing it. Don't know why, but this is Art Alive. This was Genesis' answer to Mario Paint. And Answer was a little bit more of like a nod, but there was some fun stuff. I always remember you could animate Toe Jam and Earl in this game, which I thought was a cool thing. Ms. Pac-Man, because I love Pac-Man. I am Pac-Man, and more Pac-Man is never a bad thing. Talked about this in another video, Caesar's Palace. This is actually a really good copy. If we rented a game, we rented Caesar's Palace back when I was a kid because my dad loved to gamble, because we probably didn't have the money to throw on real roulette. The Last Battle. If you guys ever played Kin's Fist of the North Star? Yes, this is actually, it's the original game that it came from. Beat 'em up and you literally like kick guys off the screen with your sweet heels. Something like that. The Incredible Hulk. He's so angry in this game. Tiny Toons Adventures. Winter Olympic Games is in the collection. If you're gonna have Evander Holyfield, then you better have Muhammad Ali boxing, because those are 2 of the greats. And I don't even box. We've got RBI Baseball. RBI was that was like a staple in the baseball series, especially during the Nintendo and then the 16-bit era as well. Had this on my Game Gear, played it more than I did on Genesis, but I do have a copy of Columns. This is a cool puzzler. That was all of my black labels, so the rest of it's my red labels. So I've got Spider-Man and X-Men. You've got Arcade on the front as a villain, and Wolverine and Cyclops there. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. You've got 1, 2, and 3. You've got to have it in the collection for sure. Keep going with Sonic. You got a little Sonic Spinball. Oh, WrestleMania. WrestleMania, the arcade game. Hey, yo. That's what Razor Ramon would say if he was doing a video on video games. Okay, let's keep going. Demolition Man. If you would like to see Wesley Snipes and Stallone naked, watch this movie. Berenstain Bears. Nelson Mandela Effect. Look it up. You are going to go down a rabbit hole and I apologize. Fighting games. I said I was a fan. I'm not lying. Turtles Tournament Fighters on Genesis, because that's the collection I'm going over. A different Aladdin than the Super Nintendo. This is Aladdin on the Genesis, where he gets a sword and straight up cuts bad dudes in half. There's no rating. Oh yes, it is. General audiences. Pfft, he's got a sword. General audiences, my ass. Double Dragon tried to make a fighting game. It was all right. Pac-Man 2: The New Adventures. Eternal Champions. This is an underrated fighting game. It's awesome. There's a gentleman. I mean, they all kill each other, but you've got Beastman, a guy that kind of looks like Cyclops, but my favorite character was always like the Shadow Man. I don't know if that's his real name, but he reminded me of Darkman, if you've ever seen that movie. Asterix and the Great Rescue, Lion King. It doesn't matter what version you play, this is a hard game. This is way too hard for kids. We've got MK1. That's Mortal Kombat for those that don't know. Mortal Kombat 1. And, well, I can hear something in there. Hopefully there's a game in there. And Mortal Kombat 2. That played the crap out of Mortal Kombat 2. I talked to you guys already about this. Maximum Carnage on the Genesis. This is also an amazing game. For Spider-Man games, nothing but the best. Jurassic Park. Coolest beat 'em up for DC during this age, and this is the Death and Return of Superman. I believe it's Genesis only, and this is an awesome game. Last but not least, we've got Castlevania Bloodlines. If you want to know how deep the bloodline goes, play this game, because you don't play any of the Belmonts. You play John Morris or Eric Lacard. Those sound like a rock and roll star and somebody from Star Trek. Boom shakalaka. There we go, guys. We've got our loose games. We've got our boxed games. This has been an awesome console to collect for. If there are things that I do not have in my collection that you guys feel I need to, please write them down in the comments below. I'd appreciate it. Also, if you guys like my stupid content, you like what I got going on, please give me a subscribe, give me a like, share this video. It would mean the world. I obviously am going to do more videos, so you're going to see my face again. So I apologize to those that don't want it, and those that do, I'm coming back at you. Guys, take care. Bye.